Good morning, U.S. history. Hope you slept well. Coming to you once again, live from my basement. And I have my coffee. It's very early, 6 o'clock on the nose. So I guess I'm just wanted to check in and say hello and continue my own video log of this experience. I've been reading yours online, and a few of you did videos, which is fantastic. I think you will appreciate that as time goes on. Um, I really do. I think, obviously as a history teacher, I love that kind of thing. So it's great. Really good to see what everybody's been doing and love that so many of you are continuing to exercise and get outside and be with your friends, your family, and then connecting with your friends. So what did we do here in the Coates household yesterday? So we seem to have fallen into the routine of my children doing their assigned schoolwork in the morning, anywhere between like 7 and 11 a.m., depending on when they get up and how much work they have. And then we go for a walk or we go for a bike ride around the neighborhood. We do our couple of miles, come in, have lunch. And then the afternoon is pretty open. Yesterday, and the day before, both days, I went to the grocery store. My son had a project, a cooking project from his math teacher that asked him to make this recipe. So I went to the grocery store and I had, it was so bare at our Stop and Shop in Halifax. So they had the ingredients I needed, but that led me to think about some things you probably haven't studied yet, but you will study in US history next year. The idea of these bank runs, which during the 1930s, 40s, the Depression, not so much the 40s, more of the 30s, late 20s, and early 30s, there were these bank runs where folks would take their money out of the bank because they perceived that the banks were going under, that they were going to um, go out of business and they would lose all their money. So they would run to the bank and there'd be long lines and withdraw whatever money they had in there. Um, and this is before banks carried insurance and the government insured the money up to a certain amount of money that you would have in your account. So it made me think of that. And I'm wondering if you've seen that in your community. Now, yesterday, I also went to the Shaw's in Carver, which was fully stocked, but they were having a limit on all paper products. So you're going to buy a multi-pack, you could only buy 2 multi-packs. So that's kind of an interesting psychological, sociological, historical connection that are there. So my psych students talking about that element of psychology today, motivation based on others' perceptions. But for you folks, that's sort of a historical connection with the bank runs and other stock market crashes that we haven't studied yet, but we will. So anyways, I hope you're feeling well and doing well. I'm looking for us to have a class meeting sometime Monday afternoon. So what that will look like, we'll do it on Google Meet Hangouts, and I'll post a link in Google Classroom and to your school email addresses. And it's totally optional. It's just to check in and see how everyone's doing. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about some of these sort of primary source type things that are available to talk about that will become primary sources. All right. So I hope everybody's feeling well and doing well and hanging in there. It's been great to see your journal entries. So please keep adding to them. I would love for you to add to them. Next week, we'll have an assignment that builds on that you'll do a little bit every day. So be on the lookout for that as well. All right. Good to check in. I will see you soon.